Hello everyone, this is Adam with The Weekend Hiker. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a leather stuffed sack. Stay tuned and we'll get right to it. Alright, let's get started. Here's some of the supplies you'll need to make this bag. You'll need a leather mallet. If you don't have one of these, you can use a rubber mallet. You'll need a ruler, a lighter, a few paper clips. You'll need some sewing needles, leather size. As far as the size goes, they're roughly 2 inches long. You'll need a leather hole punch. If you don't have one of these, you can use an awl, a Sharpie, preferably one close to the color of the leather you'll be working with. You'll need some artificial sinew, a pair of scissors, cardboard for tracing your pattern out, and of course you'll need your leather. You'll also need some paracord and a pair of needle nose pliers. I like to use angular ones because it's easier to pull needles through. Straight ones will work just as fine. So for this project I would recommend that you use a soft leather. That way it's easier for it to cinch up on the top. If you use a hard leather like a cowhide, it would be much more difficult to cinch up. I like to use a deer hide, something soft and supple. It works the best for me. Alright, I'm out of regular leather. All I have left is scrap, so basically I'll be making a miniature version of this bag here. But the principle's the same. You can make the bag any size you want. There's a couple ways you can make your pattern. On your cardboard, you can use a compass and trace out the bottom circle. You can use any cylindrical object around your house, and this peanut butter jar does the trick. Just make sure that it fits on the smallest piece. Take my Sharpie and trace out roughly half the diameter of the circle. We'll take our ruler and figure out first on the fabric how tall it is, and we're working with roughly 5 inches. So we'll draw a line at 5 inches at the top, and that's how high we'll make the edges. Repeat it on the other side. So we got the rough pattern traced out. We'll just cut it out. Alright, we have the pattern all cut out now. So we're going to transfer it to the back side of the leather. And the back side is the dull side, and the shiny smooth side is the front. Because the back will be on the inside of the bag and you won't see it. Alright, so I'm going to trace this pattern on the other piece, and then I'm going to cut these out. Alright, I got these all cut out. If you notice in this piece there's a little bit of a hole. It doesn't mean you can't use it. It actually will turn out really cool when I'm done. I'll show you how to patch that hole. But you just want to make sure that you have more than 1/4 inch of room from the edge from the hole for it to be able to patch it correctly. So you're going to want to patch this hole before you sew the two pieces together. And what you do is you take small pieces of scrap and you find one that will be large enough to cover up the hole and have at least 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 inch coverage all the way around. You want to leave about 1/4 inch of room from the edge because that's where you're going to be sewing. So you basically hold this down. Make sure that the front side is lined up with the front and the back's to the back. Go around the perimeter and give it a good whack. And then you want to space all these approximately a 1/4 inch apart. And repeat this all the way around. Alright, now we got our holes punched. We want to take our artificial sinew on holes, usually about a foot long is good. Just cut that. And helps if you flatten out the end. It goes through the needle a little easier. And stick just a couple inches through and then bend it over on itself. And since this material is so stiff, it will hold it. So we line up our holes. We'll just stitch this together, leaving a few inches sticking out. And go all the way around. In reverse. So you see that it makes a complete pattern without the gaps. Basically, you're going around and filling in all the gaps. So the needle nose pliers will come in handy when you try to pull through and it just doesn't want to come through. You just grip it and it pop it right through. So when you're done feeding it through, it should look complete like this with the 2 ends sticking out. All you do is just tie overhand knots. I like to tie like at least 3 or 4 of them. And then I'll take my scissors, snip them off, leaving about a 1/4 inch of thread sticking out. And then I take my lighter and melt the ends until they touch the knot. And then press it with the lighter, and as you see, it pretty much bonds on itself. Alright, so on the top of the leather, we need to have it folded over like this. This is my old way of doing it, making punches and then just cinching it up on the front. But I find it's better if you have the paracord running in here coming out the sides, and I'll show you that. So what you want to do is fold over the top. So you have enough room to get the paracord through. Just clip that on. So I'm going to do a straight across on this because it's being so small. I'm going to have a hard time getting the paracord through. So basically, every 1/4 inch, you're punching a hole through. And here's where the tool hole punch really shines. You walk it, and then walk it again. Now you're getting to do twice as much work in half the time. Alright, so when you're doing the length of this, the rule is typically 3 to 4 times the length of whatever distance you're having to sew through. I like to do 4 times just to be on the safe side, so I make sure I have enough to tie the knot at the end. Alright, so I'm going to stitch down and then fill in the gaps on the way back and then tie it off just like I did with this one. So just like I did with the patch hole, now I've gone all the way down one side. I just follow it back down And then repeat that pattern all the way back down. Okay, you can see I've got it stitched all the way around just like I did the top part. And always make sure when you're feeding it through, you start from the inside to the outside. Also, if you'll notice, I have it, the two holes are open so I can feed the paracord through. And the hard part now is flipping this inside out. Yeah, it's a little harder since I don't have much material to work with, but this is essentially what it looks like. Okay, so you're going to take your metal coat hanger and feed it through the hole. Until it comes out the other side. And then feed your paracord through the loop end. And pull it straight back through the hole. Figure out how much you want to have to tie together. And make it the same length. And then cut that off. You can always make this shorter after you fed it through the other side. So on the reverse, you take the and stick this through. Alright, so you got one side done. Now we just gotta get one more piece and feed it through the opposite way. Alright, so I have both ends fed through. You can see on this end that this side is looped through here, and the same is true on this side. So when you pull these together, it cinches the bag closed. Determine how long you want your end to be. Tie an overhand knot. Trim these ends off. Take the lighter and cinch up the ends. And then repeat the process for the other side. Alright, so in miniature scale, this is what the bag looks like. And then cinch up the top. And then you can tie a couple overhand knots on the top to keep it closed. And then keep whatever you want inside. Basics, I taught you of how to make this miniature leather stuff sack. You can pretty much make it any size you want. You're pretty much just restricted to the amount of leather you have. I'd like to thank y'all for watching my video on how to make a leather stuff sack. If y'all want to see more, please hit that subscribe button. And as always, take care, God bless, and keep on hiking.